sync this up with that. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Wichita Northwest High School, where tonight the Grizzlies at home will entertain the Crusaders of Kapaun Mount Carmel. We are about 17 minutes away from the introduction of the players and the starting lineups. We'll tell you that the girls' game just finished, and the Grizzly girls drop one to Kapaun by a score of 55-32 here tonight. For those of you watching for the very first time, we're glad to have you on board wherever you are. My name is Kevin Ark, and I'm joined by Catherine Curia and also by Julius Bolden, who is going to be our producer-engineer here this evening. These two young people are from the interactive media class here at Northwest High, part of Shane Monroe's group. And this is part of their educational experience in their class. So as always, you will hear from time to time me giving instruction to one or both of these young people, especially on the operation of the equipment. Julius is a true rookie tonight. This is his first game. Catherine is a seasoned professional.
Oh, yes.
This is what, game number 3 for you?
Yes, it is.
Okay, well, I'm glad you came back for more. Hopefully tonight, Catherine, we're going to see a win. And we had a very disappointing outing on Friday night at Goddard in the Challenge Series game. And that was largely due to the fact that Zion Jones, arguably the most prominent player on this Grizzlies squad, played all of 5 minutes before fouling out on Friday night, and he only picked up 4 points.
It was a lot of games of whistles.
There were a lot of whistles on Friday night, no question about it. We will not argue with the officiating.
Yes.
Because they blew the whistles for both teams. If I can grab this guy, we're going to have an impromptu interview. Do you have a minute? You have time? Do you have time? Sure. Do you mind? Okay, we're going to come back with Catherine here in just a minute. We got a surprise visitor, an old and dear friend. You get to hold that one. An old and dear friend back from my days at Kapaun Mount Carmel. This is Marvin Estes, who is the former girls head coach for the Crusaders at Kapaun. And how the heck are you?
I'm doing just great. How about yourself?
If I couldn't be any better, I'm having more fun than I ever did.
Well, that's a
I
big
get
smile
to work
on
with
your
these
face.
nice young people. You know, it makes that's what it's all about. These kids are learning, and we're all having fun and watching some fun basketball, and hopefully providing an entertainment package for people at home.
Well, you can't reverse all this gray hair we have, but those kids do keep your heart young, I tell you.
They
for
do.
Sure.
They do. And unfortunately, yours may be gray. Mine is just gone. It's just going. That goes way more every year. So tell us, you've retired from coaching, what, 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
It's been longer than that.
Has it really?
It's been 5 years ago.
5 years ago.
Yeah.
Billy Graff has taken your spot as the head coach, but you're still teaching, correct?
I'm still teaching. Really enjoy it. I teach anatomy, physiology. That's where my heart is, and got a lot of kids that
no pun intended, by the way.
Yeah, you want to get into medicine or something like that, and boy, we've got a lot of interest there.
Well, good for you. And that'll keep you young as well. And folks, I won't give you his age, but I can tell you that neither one of us is a spring chicken. There's no question about that.
Well, I'm competing this year in the 75 to 80. You're in track and field. I throw the shot and disc, so
you weren't. I wasn't going to give that away, as long as
it's
you
all right.
did.
There's no sense in lying about it.
No, and that still makes you my older brother, by the way. I just want you to understand that. So
it's all right.
Yeah,
I've got 100 grandkids at Kapaun right now that looking for a grandparent. They rent me out.
I'll bet they did. So, any plans to hang it up anytime soon?
I'm just a year at a time. Wendy and I have some plans we'd like to follow up on, but I thoroughly am enjoying what I'm doing, and I get to still coach track and field and throwers. That's something I've loved for years. And we've got about 30 kids in the throws at Kapaun, so that keeps you really busy in the spring. So my vacation is just about over because we start that in February, the end of February.
There you go. Well, I still remember the year that when I was still at Kapaun that both the boys and the girls won 5A state championship there.
Oh.
I don't know if you remember where I was or not, but I was at home supervising the play.
Oh, my.
And the rumor that went around, this is one of my favorite stories, the rumor that went around during intermission of the play about school being canceled on Monday because they had won both titles. Someone had texted that and overheard the principal talking about doing that very thing. I think it was David Karras at the time.
Yeah.
And I was concerned that that would dwarf the play. So as people were coming up to me at halftime, I said, no, Monday is a school day. I said that for an hour. And at the end of it, Michael Parker was the drama director, and it was the last night of the play, so I knew they were going to give him flowers. And I said, hey, would you do me a favor? Call me up there. I'm just going to make one quick announcement, and I'll get out of your way. But after your presentations. So he did that, and I went up there, and I sucker punched all the kids by saying, look, someone has started a rumor about no school on Monday. Monday is a regularly scheduled school day, and on a regularly scheduled school day, you were expected to be here. And you could just hear the energy leave the room when I said that. And I just paused for maybe 5 or 6 seconds, and I said, I'm kidding you. There's no school Monday, and the place just erupted. So, yeah, that was one of my favorite moments at Kapaun.
Well, you missed a heck of a night up there. That was probably one of the most magical nights when you both win and you're not expected to.
Exactly.
We didn't start out the season with any expectations of winning the state, except we told the girls, you want to be state champions, this is what you got to do.
Yep.
And
they did it.
Laundry list, and they started to work.
Yeah, they certainly did it. So, yeah, well, and congratulations to you for leading half of that, one of those two squads up there to the state title. And, of course, the other leader is on the floor tonight, and that's John Cherney.
John's still coaching.
He's still coaching the boys. So
a few years younger than we are.
Yeah, he is a few years younger. There's no question. He's still got a little one at home. So
yes, he does.
So, well, it's good to see you.
Good to see you, Kev.
All the best to you, and give my love to Wendy and your lovely bride, and
you to your wife as well.
I will certainly do that, and hope we see you again soon. I missed the game at Kapaun. It happened to have it on a night I had to work, so we couldn't webcast that game, which disappointed me because it was an overtime game. Those are always great, but hoping for a good game here tonight.
Well, we miss you, man.
Well, thanks.
Miss that association.
I appreciate it. Marvin Estes, our guest here in between games, going into the nightcap of this one. We're going to take it to a quick commercial, and then we'll be back with the rest of our pregame, so stay with us. Okay, this is your big cue. Now, I didn't tell you this yet, but you don't hit the word cut until I say the word basketball, okay? All right? All right, we'll be back, folks. This is Wichita Northwest Grizzlies boys basketball.
This stage is nowhere near Broadway, and none of these actors will be accepting an Oscar anytime soon. Still, they are rehearsing for something important. While they learn their lines, they're also learning teamwork, discipline, self-confidence, that everyone has a part to play. Skills that will make them stars long after the curtain falls. The National Federation of State High School Associations reminds you that when kids take part in high school activities, they get set for life.
Northwest Grizzlies boys basketball is on the air. Follow your Grizzlies throughout the entire season as they take on the top programs in the state and fight their way toward a 5A state title. Tonight's webcast is presented in conjunction with the interactive media program at Northwest High, and members of Shane Monroe's class participate in the production of tonight's webcast as part of their curriculum. Tonight's game is sponsored in part by Mel Hambledon Ford at the big corner of Kellogg and 119th Street West. We're better, we're proving it, you be the judge. Stop by and see Lisa Hambledon and the outstanding staff at Mel Hambledon Ford today. And by Floodman Family Law at 323 North Market in Wichita, where they are dedicated to the complete resolution of family legal disputes. They will make this difficult time for you a little less challenging. And now, let's go courtside and meet the crew for tonight's Grizzlies boys basketball webcast. How are you?
Fine, Kevin. How are you doing?
I'm good.
I didn't know you had affected.
I didn't need effect. I got a better offer.
Oh.
That's it. Mess up the other media people up here are messing up our stuff. That's okay. Not a problem. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
We're back here at Northwest as we count it down here for the introduction of the players. We're about 5.5 minutes away from that, and before Marvin Estes came over and graced us with an interview, Catherine and I were visiting about the game on Friday night and the disappointing loss to Goddard. It's certainly something that can deflate the team for a long time to come when you go up against a team that is winless.
Yes.
And come out on the short end of the score.
Yes. Hopefully this game tonight will boost their confidence and we'll hopefully get another win. I mean, home games aren't our strong suit, so...
They are not. In fact, we broke a 2.5-year losing streak on this court last Tuesday night, 1 week ago tonight, when the Grizzlies finally got their first home win in 2.5 years here against the West High Pioneers, and it was a game that was the game where we had all the technical problems, and unfortunately we got none of it from you. Okay, pardon me, folks. Yes, you're going to click on that. And then, click on the, there, right there, blew it. Now hit remove. Oh, you took out 2 more. That's all right. Don't worry about it. We'll do them later. Okay, it's gone. Okay? And then now you're back where you need to be. And you got your time. Good job. Okay, and then to add score, this is kind of obvious. +2, +3, and so forth. Okay? All right, meanwhile, back at the ranch, the pep band is playing up the storm. A decent crowd for a Tuesday night here at Northwest, and especially given the fact that Northwest has not played well in this building for so long. You'd think that they wouldn't draw well, but there's a nice student section over there. And ought to be a rather vocal crowd, and hopefully the opponent will give them the impetus they need to play to their absolute best, as they did in the first game of the season, which they lost, unfortunately, in overtime.
Truly an amazing game with Kapaun, the last one that we played with them. It was so close, and in overtime they ended up winning by how many?
I don't remember the score, to be honest with you. I think they won. We lost by 5.
Yeah.
I think in overtime, like 75-70 or something like that. I honestly don't remember the score.
Hopefully, we can make it even with them, and hopefully win this game.
As you can hear, the PA announcers here have begun the process of going through the pregame stuff. We're going to take one more commercial timeout here, and then we'll come back with the starting lineups and the play-by-play of tonight's game. Stay with us. This is Wichita Northwest Grizzlies boys basketball.
This may sound like a typical high school basketball game being played on a Friday night in Kansas. In fact, it's a crash course in cooperation and teamwork. It's a test of dedication, determination, and drive. It's character development. in action. If you think high school sports are only about competition, think about this. High school sports can play a critical role in a student's overall education. In fact, studies show that students who participate in school sports are more likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in their academic lives. At the same time, playing sports helps teach lessons not covered in the classroom. Lessons like tolerance, respect for the rules, and the importance of supporting your community. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Kansas Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Back at Northwest High with Catherine Curia and with, God, I hate it when I forget names. This is terrible. Julian, I forgot your Bolden. I forgot your last name. Julius Bolden, who's our producer engineer tonight, both from the interactive media class here at Northwest High. And we are ready for the starting lineups and hopefully the national anthem as well. So we're going to turn it over to the PA crew.
And now, tonight's starting lineup for the Grizzlies, Kapaun and your Northwest Grizzlies. Starting for Cleveland, number 2, 5'7" senior, Jack Barrier. And your Northwest Grizzlies, number 2, 5'8" junior, Ethan Murray. Starting to the table, number 4, 6' junior, Jared Kennedy. And for the Grizzlies, number 5, 6' sophomore, David Duncan. Starting to Cape Mount, number 10, 6'3" senior, Scott Valentes. And the Northwest Grizzlies, number 11, 6'1" senior, Gail Patterson. Number 12, 6'3" sophomore, Ethan Schultz. And the Northwest Grizzlies, number 15, 6'2" senior, Lincoln Phillips. And for the East Mountain Hall Crusaders, number 13, 6'1" sophomore, Grant Johnson. And the Northwest Grizzlies, number 21, 6'3" senior, Logan Engelmeyer.
I know a lot of that was hard to hear. We're going to go ahead and reiterate it for you. For Kapaun starting, number 2, Jack Barrier. Number 4, Jairus Kennedy. Number 10, Scott Valentes. Number 12, Ethan Stulsatz. And number 13, Grant Johnson. For your Grizzlies, Easton Ruffin, number 2. Number 5, David Duncan, the sophomore. Number 11, Cale Patterson, a senior. Number 15, Lincoln Phillips, a senior. And number 21, Logan Engelmeyer, a senior. And that's your starting lineups for both teams. We're getting ready to get this underway. Tipping for the Ethan Stulsatz will do the honor for Kapaun on the tip, and he'll be opposed by Cale Patterson. And we're about ready to get this one underway. Northwest wins the tip and has the ball. Easton Ruffin will bring it across the timeline. Ruffin waiting for his team to get set. Patterson with it now. Around the horn it goes. Engelmeyer back to Ruffin. Ruffin top of the key. Splits the difference. Almost traveled. Duncan gets it. Phillips thought about a three. Puts it back down. And Ruffin drives into the paint. Puts it up. And in and out. No good. Rebound two. And a foul call. Nope, not ball's out of bounds or the player's out of bounds, one or the other. And then we'll turn over to the Crusaders. Inbounding the ball for Kapaun is Scott Valentis, number 10. He's joined out there again by Grant Johnson. Number 13, 12 is Ethan Stulsatz. Number 4, Jarris Kennedy, and Jack Barrier's number 2. Glad to have you on board wherever you are on planet Earth. Hope you enjoy this one. Just underway, no score. Ball's up and good, and Kennedy gets the first 2-pointer of the night for the Crusaders. Easton Ruffin brings it down the floor. Double teamed against him. He dishes it off. Engelmeyer around the perimeter. Back to Ruffin. And back to Engelmeyer. Little different lineup out there tonight for Northwest as Zion Jones is not in the starting lineup. And there's Duncan for 3. And the Grizzlies take a lead. Valentis with it. Dishes it over to Barrier. Barrier across to Johnson. Now into the corner it goes. Ethan Stulsatz sends it back out to Barrier. Into the paint to Stulsatz and an easy lay-in for Ethan Stulsatz. He's got his first bucket, and Kapaun takes the lead back. There's a long one for Patterson. Nice save. Ruffin. Round the horn they go. This time Phillips for 3. Off the heel, no good. Rebounded there by Johnson for Kapaun, and here come the Crusaders back. Barrier under the basket to Johnson. He dishes it off to Stulsatz. His shot is blocked. It goes out of play. It will stay with the Crusaders. And on that play earlier, I was indeed correct. That was a foul against Cale Patterson. First foul of the night by either team. Johnson with it. Puts it up from the free throw line and good. 6-3, Kapaun leads. Grizzlies do not want to be in a big hole early here. We can play with this team. We took them to overtime in their building on opening day. Patterson. Engelmeyer with it. Logan dishes it back to Cale. Back to Engelmeyer. He thought about it. Puts it down. Duncan for 3. Good! He's got all 6 points and we're tied. Great job by Mr. Duncan. Johnson now bringing it across the timeline. Dishes it to Valentis. Valentis to Barrier. Across to Johnson. Johnson to the free throw line. Dishes it off. Barrier for 3. Off the heel, no good. Rebounded there by the Crusaders, and back out it comes. Johnson takes a long 3. Short, putback misses. Valentis across, and now it's intercepted by Phillips. Here's a chance for Northwest. Duncan for 3 off the rim, no good. And it rebound there by Valentis, and Kapaun will bring it back. We're still tied at 6. 4 minutes in, and a little bit of change. Barrier puts it up, no good. Back out to Valentis. Now to Johnson. Around the horn they go, and Barrier almost threw it away. And now we have subs coming in. DeAndre Wilson will come in for Northwest, and in for Kapaun is Blake Danachek. Kapaun will inbound. 3:40 to go, first quarter, 6-6 tie. All 6 of Northwest's points come off of 2 3-pointers from David Duncan. Under the basket it goes. Around the horn, Barrier with it. Johnson now. Johnson can't get around Ruffin, but a nice attempt that time by Barrier. Doesn't go. Ball goes out of play. It will stay with Kapaun. And now coming in for the Grizzlies is Purcell Finch, number 34. And we have a foul on the shot, and Valentis is going to go to the line and shoot 2. Foul is on Phillips. Scott Valentis will make 2 free throw attempts here. First one is up, off the heel, no good.
Valentis with his second shot, and it is still no good, off the rim.
So we stay tied with 3 to go. Wilson sends it over to David Duncan, now to Phillips. Phillips tried to get it into Duncan and pulled it back. Ruffin double teamed against him. Grizzlies having a hard time beating the inside defense of the Crusaders. This one's out of play. It will stay with Kapaun. I'm going to stay with the Grizzlies, excuse me. 2:41 remaining, first quarter. Purcell Finch gives it to Ruffin. Ruffin up, off the heel, no good, and rebounded by Valentis. Valentis, arguably the best player on the Kapaun squad, number 10. He dishes it off to Kennedy. Kennedy to Barrier. A near steal by Wilson, but Danachek able to keep tabs on it, and Valentis throws it away. It belongs to Northwest. 2:09 remaining, first period. We're still tied. We haven't had a field goal in 3 minutes.
No. That may make this game very interesting.
We're going to find out. Wilson with the ball. Pulls it back out, gives it off to Lincoln Phillips. And now to Duncan. Duncan from the free throw line. Phillips for 3. Good! Lincoln Phillips joins the parade, and it's 9-6. Kennedy brings it across for Kapaun. To Barrier. Around the horn they go now. And a steal by Ruffin. Ruffin, one man to beat. Has his shot blocked, but he's fouled on the way up, and Ruffin's going to go to the line and shoot a pair. Engelmeyer's getting set to come back in here for Northwest.
Ruffin at the line, shooting is free, and it is good. Ruffin now shooting his second 3, and it is also good.
Ruffin makes them both 11-6 Grizzlies. Valentis with the ball for Kapaun. Kapaun in their road blues with white numerals, white trim. Grizzlies wearing their home whites. And over here from the near side, in and out, no good. Rebounded by Valentis. Double teamed. Throws it back over the timeline. It'll be over and back. And it will turn it over to the Grizzlies. Grant Johnson comes back in for Kapaun, and he'll spell Scott Valentis. Phillips to Ruffin, and we're back underway. Less than a minute to go, first period. I didn't see who scored that.
I didn't either.
We missed it. Sorry about that, folks, but it's 13-6 Northwest. Johnson heavily marked there by Easton Ruffin. Now Danicek has it. Back over to Johnson. Johnson drives into the paint, gives it back outside. Around the horn goes Kapaun. Looking for an easy lay-in. 10 seconds to go, first period. Stulsatz back into the corner now, and a shot and 3 for Parker Manning, who just came into the game. And that'll do it. It's 13-9. We're going to come back with the second quarter in just a moment. Stay with us. This is Wichita Northwest Grizzlies boys basketball.
This stage is nowhere near Broadway, and none of these actors will be accepting an Oscar anytime soon. Still, they are rehearsing for something important. While they learn their lines, they're also learning teamwork, discipline, self-confidence, that everyone has a part to play. Skills that will make them stars long after the curtain falls. The National Federation of State High School Associations reminds you that when kids take part in high school activities, they get set for life.
Back at Northwest High, getting ready for the start of the second quarter. Catherine, we've got the lead. What can we do with that?
Hopefully win, but knowing our team, maybe not. Possibly.
We have a long way to go. They just need to keep playing hard and keep playing smart, and they've done that for the most part here in the first quarter, and they really need somebody to get hot. We did not have a chance to visit with Coach Hill before the game, and I know that one of the reasons why Zion Jones isn't playing is that he's not even here, or at least he's not dressed. So there may be an issue there. Hopefully it's not an injury. We're back underway here. Kapaun with the ball. Johnson with it on the far side. Drives to the free throw line, dishes it off. Danicek with it. Stulsatz back to Danicek. And a nice deflection out of play by Wilson. Good defensive play. It will stay with Kapaun. Back into Kennedy. Grizzlies doing a good job of plugging the inside in this 2-3 zone they've set up. Now they switch it off and make it man-to-man. There's a long one by Danicek for 3, and it's good. 13-12. Grizzlies lead is cut to 1. Todrick McGee, number 20, came in for the Grizzlies at the break. His first appearance tonight. And ball given up here, and Kapaun comes away from it, with it rather. And a long one, and for 3, that one misses by Danicek. Kennedy with it, can't figure out what to do. Looking for help, and Danicek comes over and gives it to him. Now, into the corner. Kennedy drives, and we're going to have a blocking foul, I'm sure, on McGee. See what they call here. It is on McGee. That's his first. Ball will stay on the floor. It's the third team foul for Northwest. Kapaun has 1. Johnson turns it around. Short. Goes out of play, and it will belong to Northwest. Good defensive play by the Grizzlies that time.
Yes. Inbounding now is Cale Patterson. Number 23. Jalen 20.
Todrick McGee.
McGee.
McGee will bring it across the timeline. Duncan to Patterson to Engelmeyer to McGee to Wilson. Around the horn on the motion they go. They put the shot up and it doesn't go. and a foul called. It will give the ball to Kapaun on the floor, and that's going to also be on McGee. That's his second foul in the last 30 seconds. McGee will come out. Lincoln Phillips will come in and take his place. Also coming back into the game is Easton Ruffin, and he will replace, I have no idea whose place he took.
McGee's.
McGee is, yes indeed, McGee is out. Kapaun brings the ball up. We'll set the Grizzly lineup for you again. Easton Ruffin, number 2. Lincoln Phillips, 15. Engelmeyer, 21. Duncan, number 5. And Cale Patterson, number 11. And that's the 5 on the floor right now. Now we have another whistle and another foul.
On David Duncan.
Duncan gets a foul away from the ball. That's the 15 foul now on the Grizzlies. Kapaun only has 1.
Now inbounding is Barrier for Kapaun.
Barrier inbounds it to Danachek, and the ball's tapped out of play. It will stay with the Crusaders.
Oh, inbounding now is Barrier.
Catherine just learned what it means to miss her cue. Easton Ruffin gets the rebound off the Barrier miss. Duncan with it on the far side. Out to Ruffin, 5:30 to go, first half. Around the rim it goes, doesn't fall, and Valentis gets the rebound for Kapaun. He'll bring it across the timeline. The Barrier deep in the corner to Johnson. To Danachek. Stulsatz gets it. And they tried to get it back to Stulsatz unsuccessfully. Here comes Ruffin with it. Around the horn. Phillips for 3. Good! Phillips has 6. Grizzlies lead by 4. And now a timeout is being taken by the Crusaders. We're going to go ahead and take one with them. Stay with us. This is Wichita Northwest Grizzlies boys basketball.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Grizzlies lead 16-12 here in the second quarter, 4:38 remaining. Coming out of the Kapaun timeout, head coach John Cherney III wanted to talk about something, or perhaps stop a little momentum. In any case, if the inbound will come from Kapaun Mount Carmel. Tiger Jones in the game for the Crusaders, number 1. Here's a long one by Danachek, and it's good. That's his second three-pointer. Phillips dishes it off to Duncan. Duncan thought about it. He had an uncontested 3, but gave it up. Phillips to Engelmeyer. Cale Patterson off the heel. No good. Rebounded by Stulsatz. Here comes Kapaun Mount Carmel again. Vanacek for 3. In and out. No good. And a nice try that time by Valentis for the save. Almost took 2 cheerleaders with him, but nobody's hurt, and it will be Northwest ball.
Now inbounding is Northwest Cale Patterson to David Duncan.
Duncan gives it to Ruffin. Ruffin down the side to DeAndre Wilson. Wilson across. Here's a three-point try. Good! That's from Duncan. That's his third one. And it's 19-15. Grizzlies lead. They've led the entire quarter. There's something about these two schools when they play each other, the games are always close. Tonight seems to be the same. Jones puts one up from three, no good. Rebounded by Patterson. Patterson gives it to Ruffin, and here come the Grizzlies back. Chance to widen the lead. Duncan thought about it. Gives it back to Wilson. Over to Phillips. Phillips puts it up, misses everything, gets his own rebound, though. I'm sorry, that's Duncan with the rebound. Now to Phillips. And back out to Duncan, top of the key. Gives it to Ruffin. Around the perimeter they go. Duncan, good! And a foul! Count the basket. The foul is being charged to Blake Danachek. That's his first. It's only the team's second foul.
David Duncan at the line shooting his free, and it was off the heel, no good.
Rebounded by Danachek. Barrier to Danachek. They bring it across the timeline. Kapaun back with it now, trailing by 6. Biggest lead of the night for the Grizzlies. Jones underneath the basket. Tapped out of play. Nice defensive play by Ruffin. It will stay with Kapaun, however. And Stulsatz will come out for the Crusaders, and going in is Jarris Kennedy.
Inbounding now is Jake Barrier. Cam Pitts.
No, you're right.
Yes.
You're right. We had a sub first as Engelmeyer came back in for Easton Ruffin. Danachek. Three-pointer misses. Rebounded by Wilson. Here come the Grizzlies back. 1-on-4. There's always an open man somewhere for three. Oh, off the rim, no good for Duncan. Duncan's been the hot hand here in the first half. 2 minutes to go, second quarter. Barrier on the near side. Across the horn it goes to Jones. Valentis has it now. Triple teamed on him. They're defending against Kapaun's arguably best player. This one tapped out of play by Northwest. It will stay with Kapaun.
1:35 left on the clock. Northwest is leading 21-15.
Grant Johnson comes back in. Tiger Jones goes out for the Crusaders.
Barrier inbounding to Valentes.
Valentes gives it to Johnson. Johnson a long two, no good. Rebounded by Patterson. Here come the Grizzlies back. 1:27 to go in the second. Wilson. A long three. Good! Wilson gets a three, and the Grizzlies lead by 9. Around the horn it goes. Barrier on the far side. Barrier underneath. Dishes it to Valentis, and an offensive foul called on Barrier. That's his first foul. 48 seconds to go. First half. Can't remember the last time neither team got into the bonus.
Cale Patterson inbounding to Wilson.
Wilson brings it across the timeline. Looks like the Grizzlies are going to set up here for the last shot.
.30 seconds still left on the clock, and Grizzlies are still up by 9.
Wilson killing time. And he's tripped, and a foul will be called on Valentis. Tripping is not allowed in this sport. Grizzlies will have it on the floor. It's only the 4th team foul for Kapaun. Creighton Bina comes in for the Crusaders, replacing Danicek.
Phillips passing it into Duncan.
Duncan to Phillips. Phillips, 14 to go. Back to Duncan. Duncan thought about it. Now over to Engelmeyer. There's Wilson for 3. Good! DeAndre Wilson gets a 3, and the Grizzlies are going to have a big lead at halftime. 27-15. Grizzlies lead at half. We'll be back with our halftime extravaganza in just a moment. Stay with us. This is Wichita Northwest Grizzlies boys basketball.
National studies show that students who participate in activities like music, sports, and drama not only have better grades and attendance, but they develop the character to handle adversity, the grace to accept defeat, and the self-confidence to start over. Take part. Get set for life.
Get all the cheerleaders up here. Their coach is down there talking to them. I don't want to do that. We're back here at Northwest High. We're at halftime. Grizzlies lead by 12, 27-15 at half. Biggest halftime lead they've had in quite some time here. We're going to turn it over and let the Pommies perform.
National studies show that students who participate in activities like music, sports, and drama not only have better grades and attendance, but they develop the character to handle adversity, the grace to accept defeat, and the self-confidence to start over. Take part. Get set for life.
We're back at Northwest High. Stay with us here just a moment here. We're going to do a little instructional stuff. Now hit add there. And the ones that you lost were 2 and 3. Oh, 3 is missing. Hit 2 and hit open. And it'll go to the bottom of the list, okay? Now go back up. Go hit add clip again. I want to see if maybe I didn't bring it over. Scroll that up and let's just see what else is in there. We got that. We got that. Okay, hit that one right there, the Mel Hamilton one. And do that. And folks,
just a reminder, kids who participate in high school activities tend to go a little farther than those who don't. Take part. Get set for life.
Okay, we are back at halftime here at Northwest High, and I'm going to visit here with my partner tonight, Catherine Curia. Catherine, a good first half, up by 12.
Very good. I'm super proud of the Grizzlies right now. This lead may make or break the game, actually. Having this lead will really help out the Grizzlies in the long run, but it's all about their teamwork.
It is about the teamwork, and the teamwork was very good in the first half, and that is kind of displayed somewhat by the scoring because it was kind of spread out. Now, let me ask you, do you think you could read this chicken scratch and tell everybody who's got what in the way of points?
I'm guessing. Okay. For the first quarter, Easton Ruffin had 2 points. I'm guessing those were the free throws that he shot.
Right.
David Duncan, 2 threes in the first quarter. Lincoln Phillips, also 2 threes in the first quarter. In the second quarter, DeAndre Wilson had 2 threes. David Duncan had a 3 and a 2.
So David Duncan leads the Grizzlies in scoring, and quite frankly, he leads all scorers with 11 points tonight. For Kapaun, Danachek has 6 on 2 threes. Kennedy has 2. Stulsatz has 2. Grant Johnson has 2. And Parker Manning has 3. And that rounds out the scoring here for you in the first half. Let's tell you briefly what is on tap on the web later this week. This is a hugely busy week. Catherine and I will be in Valley Center on Thursday for an unusual start time. We will be on the air at 2:45 on Thursday. The Grizzlies will be playing in the Valley Center tournament, and they will take on the Buffaloes of Garden City High School. So that ought to be a good one, a nice non-league contest. I love tournament play because we get to see teams we don't normally see during the regular year. So we will play on Thursday. Now here's where it gets complicated. After the 2:45 game on Thursday, if the Grizzlies win Thursday, they play Friday night at 7, and we will be on the air at 6:45. If the Grizzlies lose on Thursday, we will not webcast on Friday because they will be playing at 3 o'clock. Okay, and that time slot's not available for us. So in order to have Thursday and Friday, they got to win Thursday. Regardless of what they do Thursday and Friday, they will play Saturday, and we are doing that game whenever it is. So, yeah.
I got that.
Got that. Hope you folks at home understood all that, too. In tournament play, you don't know beyond your first game who's going to play when because it depends on who wins. So we play Thursday, 2:45 airtime. That's our next webcast. Hopefully we'll win and we'll do Friday night for you. And regardless of whether they win or not, we will do Saturday whenever it is. So that's our plan for this coming weekend. And then there's no rest because we come right back at it on Tuesday. This is the busy time of year for this bunch. We come right back on Tuesday, and we will play at Heights. Is that right? No, that's wrong. That's a week from Tuesday. They have a week off because the girls go into tournament next week. And we have not talked to any of the staff here about. We have not done a girls' game entirely, and I would like to. We may do the girls' tournament, but I don't know where it is. So as soon as I find out that information, we'll let you know. And, of course, everything is on the website. If you search at Grizzlies Basketball Webcast on Facebook, you will find the basketball page, which actually has a link to the page with all the podcasts and upcoming webcasts on it. Once you get there, save it as a favorite. You can watch them all, and you can watch every game played since the beginning of the season because all of the games are podcast forever. In fact, all of last year is still up. If you're interested in watching games from last year, they are still up. The Kapaun game from last year, which opened the season, is still one of my favorites because we won that game in overtime. and it was certainly exciting. We're going to take one quick commercial break, and then we're going to come back with the third quarter. So stay with us. This is Wichita Northwest, Presidents. This is Northwest Grizzlies boys basketball.
Just a reminder, kids who participate in high school activities tend to go a little farther than those who don't. Take part. Get set for life.
Northwest Grizzlies basketball on the internet is being brought to you in part tonight by Mel Hamilton Ford, 11771 West Kellogg, at the big corner of Kellogg and 119th Street West. We thank Lisa Hamilton and all the good folks at Mel Hamilton Ford for their support of Grizzlies athletics. We're better, we're proving it. You be the judge. Mel Hamilton Ford. Underway, Grizzlies playing now from right to left in this half. Playing for the near basket. Ruffin puts one up, misses. And we have a ball that went out of bounds, and it will belong to the Crusaders.
Inbounding now is Valentes to number 13, Johnson.
Grant Johnson brings it across the timeline for Kapaun. And a long three off the heel, no good. We got to caught a break that time. Duncan gets the rebound. Here comes the Grizzlies back. Sophomore brings it across the timeline to Phillips. Now to Ruffin. We haven't even set the lineup here for you. We probably ought to do that. We'll do that here just as soon as we get a chance. In fact, the chance is now. David Duncan, number 5. Easton Ruffin, number 2. 15 is Lincoln Phillips. I'm waiting for one of them to shoot. Engelmeyer, number 21, with the ball. And finally, Cale Patterson, who's hanging around the paint. Ruffin puts it up for 2 and good. Ruffin has 4 by our count, and it's 29-15 Grizzlies. Grizzlies lead by 14, their biggest lead of the night. There's a long one for Barrier that's good for 3. That's his first field goal of the night.
Cale Patterson inbounding to Ruffin. Ruffin going down the court.
Ruffin looking for some help. Engelmeyer to Patterson. Patterson back to Engelmeyer. And now to Duncan. And I look at Patterson. He has not shot the ball tonight. Johnson with it for Kapaun. Stulsatz. Back over to Barrier. Barrier got fouled on the way up by Patterson. Patterson thought it was all ball, but the foul will stand, and that's Cale Patterson's second foul of the contest. First team foul of the half for either side.
Up to the line is Jake Barrier, shooting 2. His first one is good. Jake Barrier shooting his second free throw. And it is also good.
Barrier makes them both. He's got 5 points all in this quarter. Grizzlies lead by 9. Here comes Ruffin with the ball. 5:30 and change to go in the third. And a travel by Phillips will turn the ball over to the Crusaders.
Inbounding now is Valentes to
Johnson. Grant Johnson with the ball. Johnson trying to drive, but Ruffin's in his way. Now Stulsatz has it. Barrier double teamed against him, and a foul's going to be called on Engelmeyer, I'll bet. It is on Logan. It's his first. Second team foul of the quarter. We want the Grizzlies to remember now to keep their composure here.
Barrier inbounding to Johnson.
Back to Barrier. Barrier drives in the paint, dishes it off. Johnson goes up, misses, gets his own rebound. And Ruffin steals it from him and brings it down the court. Cale Patterson went up. It was blocked out of play. It will stay with Northwest. And Danachek will come back in now for Kapaun. DeAndre Wilson comes in for Logan Engelmeyer. Logan getting some handshakes as he comes out. He played well.
Ruffin now inbounding for Northwest. Passes it to Phillips.
Phillips puts it up from 7 feet. Misses. Rebound 2. Gets his own rebound. No, that's Phillips with a rebound, excuse me. And that one is picked by Danachek, who used his height to his advantage that time. Ethan Stulsatz dishes it to Danachek again. Now Kennedy with it for Kapaun. Near foul that time. I'm surprised they didn't call it, to be honest with you. Johnson misses. Ruffin gets the slop on the ground, and Wilson will bring it up. Here's one from Duncan off the heel, no good. And a nice save by Patterson to Duncan for the lay-in and good. That's some team play there. The assist to Patterson to Duncan.
Inbounding was Valentes to Johnson.
Grizzlies lead by 11 again. Valentes to Stulsatz. Around the horn. Johnson will put this one up, and it rolls off the back, no good. Stulsatz gets the putback, however, and he scores. That's his second bucket of the night. Ruffin at the free throw line to Wilson on the far side. Wilson being guarded by Stulsatz. That's no match.
3
Ethan
minutes
has him by 6 inches. I'm sorry, go.
3 minutes and 20 seconds left in the first quarter, and Northwest is up by 9.
Around the horn they're going now. Wilson for 3. Good! DeAndre Wilson gets his third three-pointer of the night. He's got 9 points, and the Grizzlies lead by 12. Here comes Kennedy with it to Johnson. Grizzlies in a 2-3 zone. Under the basket, they had the zone broken and they didn't take the shot. Now here's a loose ball picked up very nicely by Duncan. Duncan will bring it across the timeline. Into the corner it goes for Phillips for 3. Good! Lincoln Phillips cans a 3. That's another three-pointer, and a timeout being called by Kapaun Mount Carmel. We'll send it to a quick word. We'll be back after the timeout. This is Wichita Northwest Grizzlies boys basketball.
Hey, great party.
Oh, thanks. Here you go. 1 hamburger, medium well.
This is well done.
No. That's medium well.
What? Are you calling me a liar? This thing is practically burnt.
That's it. You're not going to come to my house and tell me how to cook a hamburger.
You wouldn't do it there.
That'd be crazy.
So, don't do it here. Sportsmanship. It's up to you.
Northwest Grizzlies basketball is being brought to you in part tonight by the Floodman Family Law Firm at 323 North Market. We thank Floodman Family Law for their support of Grizzly basketball. Stulsatz in the near corner sends it all the way across the barrier. And now we have a foul. That's going to be on Wilson, I think. Oh, like I said, it's not. It's on Finch, his first. And a steal by Phillips. Phillips sends it across. Up. And a foul called on the shot. It will send McGee to the line to shoot a pair.
McGee at the line for Northwest, shooting one of his 2 free throws. His first shot is good. McGee now is shooting his second one, and it is also good.
McGee makes them both. He's got 2 points. Grizzlies lead by 17, their largest lead of the night. Not enough. I'm just telling you, it's not enough. Kennedy gets an easy lay-in and gets his second bucket of the night. McGee brings it up for the Grizzlies. To Phillips. Tried to feed it into Finch and was intercepted there nicely by Bina. And Bina has the ball now. He's going to drive the paint. He's going to put it up, and it's going to score. Bina gets his first bucket of the night. And the Grizzly lead is down to 13. Now a loose ball on the floor. Finch gets it. Grizzlies need to get their composure back. McGee, Todrick McGee, number 20, driving into the paint, looking for help, gets it from Finch. Here's Phillips for 3, off the heel, no good. Rebounded there by Finch, puts that up, can't get it to go, and it's rebounded, and they're going to call a foul on McGee. They were hoping for the jump ball, didn't get it. That's McGee's 3rd foul, so I'm sure he will not be long for this world. Duncan comes out.
Kennedy inbounded to Barrier. Barrier down the court.
Barrier to Kennedy. Engelmeyer came back in for Duncan. McGee stays in the game with his 3 fouls. Kennedy with it. Over 2 guys. No good. Rebound. Lincoln Phillips, who's had a great game so far here tonight, gives it to Engelmeyer. Engelmeyer across the timeline to Wilson. Wilson waits for his offense to set up, pulls it back out. 35 to go here in the 3rd. Not exactly sure what that was, but it will be Kapaun ball in any case.
30 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Northwest up 39-26.
Purcell Finch just called for his 2nd personal.
Kennedy inbounding to Barrier. Barrier going down the court.
He dishes it off to Jones. Jones. He's got Engelmeyer draped all over him. He finally gets rid of it to Kennedy. 15 to go here in the 3rd quarter. In all likelihood, we're going to be up by double digits at the end of the quarter. Here's a 3 ball. Misses. Putback is good, and the putback is up there by Bina. And that's the way the 3rd quarter ends. So after 3, the Northwest Grizzlies 39, Kapaun Crusaders 28. We'll be back with the 4th quarter after this. This is Wichita Northwest Grizzlies boys basketball.
Hey, great party.
Oh, thanks. Here you go. 1 hamburger, medium well.
This is well done.
No. That's medium well.
What? Are you calling me a liar? This thing is practically burned.
That's it. You're not going to come to my house and tell me how to cook a hamburger.
You wouldn't do it there.
That'd be crazy.
So don't do it here. Sportsmanship. It's up to you.
And our executive producer, Julius Bolden, Kevin Arkin with you. We're getting ready for the start of the 4th quarter here. Northwest enjoying an 11-point lead after 3. They led by 17 at one point in the 3rd quarter. So let's remember that. Each team has 4 timeouts remaining. Kapaun only has 1 foul. They have not fouled much tonight at all. I think they only had 3 fouls total in the first half. And Northwest has 5. Neither team has been in bonus land at all tonight. Kapaun will inbound the ball here to start the 4th quarter. Kennedy will do the honors, and he gives it to Barrier. Barrier brings it across the timeline in front of Easton Ruffin. Back to Kennedy. Kennedy from the free throw line. off the heel, no good. Rebounded that time by Engelmeyer. And that one deflected off a Kapaun player. They gave it to Kapaun. No, that's a bad call. Someone messed that one up, and it's going to stand, but that did go off a Kapaun player's leg. And a gift for the Crusaders. Barrier. Brings it down. Now he throws it away, and I guess turnabout's fair play because we got it right back. Easton Ruffin will bring it across the timeline. Phillips for three is going to miss. Rebound to Engelmeyer. He gives it to Ruffin, who puts it up. He misses as well. A rebound to Phillips, and Phillips finally gets the putback. Third time is the charm, and Phillips has 11 points. Phillips picks up the loose ball, brings it down the court. Loses it to Stulsatz. Nice job of picking the pocket that time by the sophomore for Kapaun. Barrier has it now for the Crusaders. To the free throw line, pulls it back out. Kennedy, uncontested three, good. You cannot do that, people. Now we're going to have a timeout taken by Northwest. We're going to take it with them. Stay with us. We'll be back. This is Wichita Northwest Grizzlies boys basketball.
Hey, where are you going? Can't get by me. I'm number one in this class. I rule this lab. I'm number one. Hey, I don't think so. Yes! Winner! I am the king! Woo!
You wouldn't do it there. So, don't do it here. Sportsmanship. It's up to you.
What?
Jerk.
Northwest Grizzly basketball on the internet is brought to you in part tonight by the law firm of Floodman Family Law. They are dedicated exclusively to the resolution of family law disputes, whether it's divorce, spousal maintenance, paternity, child custody, child support, property division, protection from abuse, or other family law-related matters. We hope that you will consider Floodman Family Law, 323 North Market, for your needs. Ball back in here, inbounded by the Grizzlies to start the fourth quarter. Duncan pulls it back out. Engelmeyer. And that'll be up. Oh, they called a blocking foul. I would have guessed that would have been a charge. I've been wrong 3 times tonight, so why should this be any different? Fouls on Bina. It's his second.
Phillips passing in for Northwest to Ruffin.
Ruffin under the basket. Easy put in for Patterson. And would you believe me if I told you that's his first bucket of the night? And I think that's his first shot of the night. In any case, Grizzlies lead by 12 again. Barrier for 3. Good.
Inbounding now is David Duncan to Engelmeyer.
Ruffin has Barrier all over him. Going to bring it across the timeline without any problem. Now gets by Barrier. Phillips has it, top of the key. Over to Duncan. Around the horn it goes. Underneath to Patterson, and he couldn't make it go. Missed an easy lay-in that time. Here comes Kapaun back with it. Barrier has it. And this time Duncan is going to defend him. Kennedy now on the far side. Has Engelmeyer in front of him, and he takes an uncontested 3. Guys, you can't do that. And just like that, there's going to be another timeout. We're going to keep this one right here. 4:53 to go in the fourth. Grizzlies lead by 6, 43-37. and Grizzlies basketball on the internet is being brought to you in part tonight by Mel Hambledon Ford, 11771 West Kellogg, on the big corner of 119th Street West and West Kellogg. We're better, we're proving it. You be the judge. Mel Hambledon Ford. We express our gratitude to Lisa Hambledon, Phil Nightingale, and all the nice folks at Mel Hambledon Ford for their support of Grizzly basketball. Catherine?
Yes?
I don't like the way this is going. We led by 17 less than 3 minutes ago.
As long as we keep our lead, we may be able to pull this through.
6-point lead, which once was 17. It was 11 at the third quarter break. We've given up 5 points of the lead here in the last 5 minutes, or last 3 minutes. Kapaun with the ball. Kennedy has it. Kennedy in the basket, into the paint, out wide. Here's another uncontested three for Barrier. This one's short and rebounded by Engelmeyer. Logan will bring it across. Over here to Wilson. Andy Hill coaching and signaling for some motion offense. And now we have a foul called on Jack Barrier. That's his second. Ball will stay on the floor.
Inbounding now is Phillips to DeAndre Wilson.
Wilson puts it up. It misses. It stays with Northwest.
Phillips inbounding now to...
That was Patterson.
Patterson.
Now over here to Wilson. Wilson for three. Good! That's what we needed. He's got a dozen. And we're back up by double digits. And a foul called on Wilson. It's kind of a ticky-tack foul, but it was one. That's the sixth team foul. It'll put Kapaun will be in the bonus here from here on out.
Kennedy inbounding, but was deflected by Northwest.
Wilson comes up with the loose ball. Lincoln Phillips is actually the one that blocked it. On the far side, Wilson puts up a three. In and out, no good. Rebounded by Kennedy for Kapaun. Here comes the Crusaders back. Kennedy pulls it back out. Grizzlies go into their zone again, and there's a long one over everything by Barrier. And if I've said it 1,000 times, I've said it once, you cannot leave him uncontested. He's too good a long shooter. DeAndre Wilson with it, sends it up here to Lincoln Phillips. Phillips to Duncan. Here's one for Patterson for three. Good! Lincoln Patterson surprised us all. Cale Patterson, excuse me.
3 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Northwest is up by 9.
Thank you for saving me. A shot rebounded there by Patterson. I don't know what I was thinking. Actually, I wasn't. That was the problem. Lincoln Phillips will pull it out here, and Wilson will have it. 2.5 to go. Grizzlies up by 9. Grizzlies would love to get a basket here and make it double digits. And there's a foul, and DeAndre Wilson goes down hard.
Sounded like it hurt.
Fouls on Parker Manning.
DeAndre Wilson on the line. Oh, actually it is a inbound by Ruffin.
Well, there's no bonus here yet. This is on the floor as it was not a shooting foul. Patterson gets it, turns around, puts it up. Oh, misses. Very alertly gets his own rebound, though. Nice play there by Patterson to save it for the Grizzlies. Duncan misses. Rebounded by Patterson again, now to Ruffin. Ruffin's going to pull it back out and reset it. In he goes. From 8 feet, misses again. 3 clean misses on one possession. And now Ruffin steals it from Kennedy. dishes it off and lays it in by Duncan. Give the assist to Ruffin on the basket, and the Grizzlies lead by 11 again. 1:45 to go. Kennedy for Kapaun. Everybody on the Grizzly bench is standing up. Pina puts it up and good. And a timeout being taken, I'm willing to bet you. Yes, Kapaun is taking a timeout. We're going to take one with them. Stay with us. This is Wichita Northwest Grizzlies boys basketball.
Thank you. Can I help you today?
No thanks. I'm just looking. Oh, this is cute. So?
You wouldn't do it there. So, don't do it here. Sportsmanship. It's up to you.
Like they're the fashion police.
Need one out of two. Folks, I'm going to start this out with an apology. First of all, Kennedy picked up a technical before the timeout, and I did not realize that. And while we were at commercial, Duncan made 1 out of 2 of the technical free throws. The Grizzlies will get the ball back, and now the Crusaders have taken a full timeout. So let's reset this for you. And maybe I can figure it out as well. 1:21 remaining in the fourth. Grizzlies up by 10, 52-42. Grizzlies have 16 fouls. The Crusaders have 5. Grizzlies have 2 timeouts left, and the Crusaders have 3. And the possession arrow is pointing in the favor of Northwest. Now you know everything we need to know. So can the Grizzlies, Catherine, hang on for another minute and 21 seconds and take a W out of here?
Yes.
Grizzlies coming off that heartbreaking loss at Goddard on Friday night. Losing again, nothing against Goddard, but the team was winless before that game. And they handed us a 6-point loss on Friday night. They didn't let it hold them back, though. We're back at it here tonight. The first of 4 games this week. 3 in the tournament starting on Thursday. Ruffin to Duncan. Kapaun will start fouling here soon. Duncan with it. Playing some ball possession. Engelmeyer underneath to Patterson to Engelmeyer up, and it doesn't go. The putback is good. Logan Engelmeyer follows his shot and gets his first bucket of the night, and we're up by 12 with less than a minute to go. Another loose ball. A pile-up down there. Ethan Stulsatz of Kapaun was on the bottom. And I think Kapaun called a timeout while he was down there. They did. It is a timeout. Let's go ahead and take it with them. Stay with us. We'll be back for more. This is Northwest Grizzlies boys basketball.
Hey, man, you got up for football? Band class still needs you, man.
Kansas students have choices to do or not to do. The Kansas State High School Activities Association urges everyone to participate because when activities stop, nobody wins.
With Catherine Curia and Julius Bolden, Kevin Arkin with you. It's been a great game, a barn burner. 44.9 remaining here in the fourth quarter, and the Grizzlies up by 12. I don't know about you, but I'm going to sleep good tonight.
Me too.
This has been a draining evening. Kapaun will inbound here and does so. Barrier trying to feed it in. It's tapped out of bounds. It'll stay with Kapaun as it went over the baseline. Barrier will inbound for the for the Crusaders, and he gets it into Jones. Barrier with it again, probably looking for a three. The longer it takes him, the better it is for the Grizzlies. Jones. Back to Jones again, now to Barrier, off into the corner. There's a three ball, missing everything. Ethan Stulsatz gets tied up. I'm not exactly sure what they're calling a foul there. Stulsatz will go to the line. Patterson picks up his third. It's the 7th team foul. It's a 1-and-1 opportunity as the Grizzlies have put Kapaun into the bonus here. First one misses, and the rebound to Duncan. 15 seconds to go. Folks, Grizzlies are going to win 2 in a row at home. On the near side it comes. Back to Duncan. 6-5. He dribbles it out, puts it up, and folks, we are done. 54-42. Grizzlies win over Kapaun Mount Carmel, and under normal circumstances I would send it to a commercial, but you need to add one, add number 2 back. Now I'll tell you, we'll be right back to...
Hey man, you got out for football? Band class still needs you, man.
Kansas students have choices to do or not to do. The Kansas State High School Activities Association urges everyone to participate because when activities stop, nobody wins.
Fly. Back at Northwest High, where the Grizzlies have come out on top tonight, 54-42 over the Crusaders of Kapaun Mount Carmel. We'll give you some of the scoring highlights here. We'll start with Kapaun Mount Carmel. Barrier, who was all over the place tonight, comes in with 11. Danicek has 6. Kennedy with 10. Bina had 6. Stulsatz with 4. Johnson with 2. And Parker Manning with a 3-pointer in the first quarter. For the Grizzlies, Ruffin with 4. DeAndre Wilson had 12 points on 4 3-pointers. David Duncan had 6, 9, 11, 13, 15, 16 points to lead all scorers here tonight. Cale Patterson with 5. Lincoln Phillips had 11. He had a good night as well. Second player on the team in double figures tonight. McGee with a pair and Logan Engelmeyer with a pair as well. This game, a good game on which to build for the rest of the season. It takes the Grizzlies to 3-7, and you say 3-7 isn't much, but this was a big win.
Yes, it was. I know the Grizzlies, not even just the players, but all of Northwest High is very glad that we won this game tonight, and hopefully it will continue our streak of hopefully winning at home.
Winning at home is important, and we haven't, like I said, we've only won 2 games at home in 2.5 years, and they were the last 2 weeks. So it's good to see them get back in the W column here at home. Just as we wrap this up, we'll tell you that the Grizzlies will play Thursday against Garden City in Valley Center at the Valley Center Tournament. We are on the air at 2:45 Thursday afternoon. Catherine will be there. Kevin will be there. I don't know if Julian will be there or not. Perhaps and perhaps not. Julian, great job tonight as executive producer. Catherine, great job as well.
Thank you.
For everyone in our crew, to every one of you, we thank you again for watching tonight, and we wish you a pleasant evening. We'll see you Thursday in Valley Center at 2:45. And once again, Grizzlies win 54-42. Good night from Northwest High. Okay, now you're going to click on live again, and you're going to hit confirm, and you're going to